Welcome back to Hardball. Some late-breaking news today on that big Sony hacking case. Two U.S. government officials now tell NBC News that the U.S. government's assessment is that North Korea is indeed behind the hack on Sony. Officials say the hacking attack originated outside North Korea, but they believe the individuals behind it were acting on orders from the North Koreans. The group that has claimed responsibility for the attacks calls itself the Guardians of Peace. They say the hack was retaliation over the release of Sony's comedy, The Interview. That's the name of the picture, which is about the fictional assassination of North Korea's leader, Kim Jong-un. Well, the group threatened a 9/11-style attack on movie theaters around the country, prompting Sony to actually pull the plug on the movie now. The film's release date won't happen December 25th. NBC's Bob Windrum is our investigative reporter. Bob, these threats, is it the same group NBC believes that basically hacked and then issued this threat, don't go to the movies and watch this thing?
Well, it seems to be coming from the same source. The U.S. government has been using, as one source described to me, the most sensitive means, quote unquote, to determine who was behind this. And the U.S. government assessment that was made essentially, from what I can understand today, is that indeed North Korea is behind the attack. The question becomes who did they use? Did it originate in that country, or was it outside that country? And that remains, as far as we can tell, uncertain. But what is the U.S. government assessment is that the regime of Kim Jong-un was behind, is responsible for that hack attack.
So they outsourced it. So that gets to the question of capability. But what about motive? Is this more anti-Japanese? Because Sony, we keep forgetting it. It's so familiar to us. It's a brand name coming to us from Japan. Are they anti-Japanese or are they anti-American or what?
Well, certainly they're both. I mean, I think we know that. And, of course, the North Koreans and the Japanese have a long history, stretching back 100 years and, you know, very intense. And I think it's entirely possible that the idea that Sony was behind this angered them greatly. The fact that it's being released in the U.S. Couldn't have helped either. But I do think at the end of the day, the U.S. is going to have to determine what to do in response. North Korea was not known as among the first rank of cyber warriors. I mean, you've seen in the last few last 2 years, attacks by Iran, and certainly some of the European countries, China, Europe have that capability, but North Korea was not on that short list until now.
So this is something we're going to have to face, and my question is, why do they get mad at a movie when people have been making fun of that leader and his father for years now? All over the West, we think the haircuts, everything about them seems so archaic and weirdly isolated. Why do you think a movie bugged them enough to go to this extent?
It may just be, you know, the cumulative effect, Chris, that there have been over the years continual attacks, as you noted, on their leadership. And it may also have been just an opportunity that they came across someone who was willing to do it, or they went out and tried to find someone to do it. Yeah. That we do not know.
Wow. Anyway, thank you, Bob Winder, for that intelligence. Up next, torture. Hillary Clinton condemns what the CIA did after 9/11. But what about Jeb Bush? Will George W. Bush's decision dog his brother on the presidential campaign trail? You're watching Hardball, the place for politics.